Hey, what up, Laker fans? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For all things Laker basketball, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Lakers content, smash that like button. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comment section. Today's Lakers 24-8 question of the day. Do you believe what Stephen A. Smith said, that players don't fear LeBron James? I want your takes down below in the comment section. And for all the latest Lakers news, head over to alllakers.com. So different day, same stuff. Stephen A. Smith is doing what he does best, and that is hating on LeBron James. This time he's saying that LeBron James isn't feared in the league and that he never has. Well, we're going to respond to that in just a second, but first take a look at what Stephen A. Smith had to say on First Take about LeBron James not being feared by his peers.
But in my estimation, from the people that I've spoken to covering the league, he's never been feared. LeBron is not somebody that instills fear in you. Of course, you got a game plan for him, and you know that his Herculean talents and what have you, and what he brings to the table, he's impossible to stop. He's one of the top 2-3 players in the history of basketball. You know all of those things. But a lot of times when we think about MJ, for example, and obviously he's the one person that draws those comparisons, what ultimately comes up short is the level of fear that was instilled in you. You didn't mess with MJ. You didn't come at MJ like that. You didn't do stuff like that. People, and I'm not talking about Isaiah Stewart, I'm just talking about period in terms of opponents and how they come at you. You believe that you wondered what you was going to do about this. With LeBron, you believe you can take him. You believe he can be had, whether it's because of the teammates around him, the system he's playing in, the people that, you know, whatever skill set you bring to the table, et cetera, et cetera. You just view him differently. And throughout the years in covering the league, those are all the things that I've consistently heard. Now, obviously, he would refute that. There's players that would refute that who have been supportive of him. Rich Paul and Maverick Carter definitely would refute that because I've spoken to them about it in the past. But again, he is profoundly respected. This is not an issue about respect for LeBron. I'm talking fear factor. Fear factor. That's just not something that has ever been associated with him.
So the first thing I want to say is I'm a big Michael Jordan guy myself. I like to wax poetic about his airness too, but I think the issue with Stephen A. Smith is he conveniently forgets that there were guys that came at Michael Jordan. You're trying to tell me that the Bad Boys Pistons and Bill Laimbeer and Dennis Rodman feared Michael Jordan, or that John Starks feared Michael Jordan, or that Reggie Miller feared Michael Jordan, or that the Blazers' Byron Irvin feared Michael Jordan, or that Glenn Rice feared Michael Jordan. There were guys that did come at MJ, and they weren't very afraid. And I think Stephen A. Smith, he fails to remember that. Like, I'm going to start calling him Stephen Amnesia Smith because he just forgets. Yes, people did come at Michael Jordan. They weren't afraid of him. Yes, as a player, you're always going to be afraid of what MJ can do on the court, and the same thing applies to LeBron James. Who cares if you're afraid to fight him physically? And the reality is LeBron James is a bigger dude than Michael Jordan. He is a heavier dude than Michael Jordan. So look, when it comes to fighting, it's only the Charles Oakleys or the Ron Artests. Those are the guys that people actually fear. And the reality is most guys aren't going to fight anyway. It's the National Hold Me Back League. They don't want to get into fight. And that's because they're basketball players. They're not MMA fighters. They're not boxers. Oh, and they're also millionaires. They have a lot to lose. That's why guys aren't really going to throw down. They don't want to do that. They don't want to get suspended. They don't want to lose money. And look, the reality is most of these guys, they're just talking anyway. It's like what Jay-Z says. You know that Ty Blatta's a motorbike, but wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. So these guys aren't really trying to get down in the first place. So who cares? What, you want to see LeBron James punch someone? You want to see LeBron James punch Isaiah Stewart and stand there and really get physical with him and lose endorsements and hurt his brand? Why the hell would he do that? The man has a wife and kids. He's not a child. He's a grown-ass man who's already among the greats of the game. He is a top 3 player, in my opinion. I think it's Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and LeBron James, and I think you can debate the order of that list, but look, that's all you want to do is be in the conversation, have a seat at the table, and LeBron James doesn't have to play another game to earn that respect. And I'd venture to say that LeBron James is one of the most feared, not just basketball players, but athletes in the history of professional sports, and not just because of what he can do on the hardwood. You know he's a dominant player. You know that if you have to guard LeBron James based on everything he can do, you're going to be afraid, right? But it's what he does off the court. It's the power that he has within the organizations that he plays for. There have been over 70 players traded on LeBron James's teams since 2010. That is serious power. If you're not playing up to par and you're on LeBron's team, you're telling me you're not afraid? Was Paul Silas, Brendan Malone, Mike Brown, David Blatt, and Luke Walton afraid of LeBron James because they all lost their jobs? How about coaches that had to coach against LeBron and weren't able to get through either the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Miami Heat, or the Los Angeles Lakers? They got fired because of LeBron James. How about the Eddie Jordans, the Dwayne Caseys of the world? Were they afraid of LeBron James? How about Frank Vogel, his current coach, that wasn't able to beat LeBron when he was in Indiana? That ultimately led to him losing his job. So to me, LeBron James is one of the most feared players in the history of the game, and I think that Stephen A. Smith is just doing what he always does. He's getting the clicks. Good for him. That's how this business works. I respect that to an extent, but I'm at the point where I don't even think Stephen A. Smith believes what he's saying, and I think that he should take his own advice.
Off the weed.
But let me know down below in the comment section, do you agree or disagree with Stephen A. Smith? As you can see, I disagree, but maybe you have a different opinion, but let me know down below. And for all the latest Lakers news and rumors, be sure to subscribe to the Lakers 24/8 YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Lakers content, smash that like button. And as always, go Lakers.